We got all of that.
What if we told you one of the funniest golf movies ever made was also one of the wildest movie sets in Hollywood? Caddyshack looked like a light comedy about rich golfers and goofy caddies, but behind the camera, things were completely out of control. There were real explosions, hurricanes, and non-stop parties. It was pure chaos that somehow turned into comedy gold. So grab your golf clubs and let's jump into 10 totally unbelievable facts about Caddyshack. You know that moment when Bill Murray talks to himself about being a Cinderella story at Augusta while hitting flowers with a golf club? None of that was in the script. The director just told him, "Act like a kid pretending to win the Masters." That's it. Murray picked up a club, started mumbling, and went completely off the rails. He destroyed the flowers, gave himself imaginary commentary, and turned a random patch of grass into an epic golf fantasy. The whole crew was laughing so hard they could barely film it. And what's crazy is that the scene was shot in one take. It became one of the funniest and most quoted moments in the whole movie, showing how genius Bill Murray can be when he's left to do his thing. And believe it or not, that kind of chaos was just getting started.
I never saw dead people smoke before.
Guest of the Scots.
When Rodney Dangerfield joined the cast, he was already a big name in stand-up comedy, but he had never acted in a real movie before. On his first day, he didn't even know when to say his lines. He thought nobody was laughing at his jokes because everyone on set stayed quiet during takes. He later said he went home and told his wife, "I bombed. Nobody laughed once." The truth was, the crew was dying inside but had to stay silent for the camera. Once they yelled cut, the whole set would break into laughter. Rodney was so naturally funny that the director started giving him more lines on the spot. His one-liners were pure lightning, and they changed entire scenes. By the end of the shoot, a role that was meant to be small had become the heart of the movie. And just when things started rolling, something huge and unpredictable hit the production.
Now in front of you next on.
I keep playing.
While the cast and crew were shooting in Florida, Hurricane David tore right through the area. Wind ripped down trees, rain flooded the golf course, and everyone had to take cover for days. It was total chaos. When they finally came back, the set was destroyed. They had to rebuild whole sections from scratch just to keep filming. But instead of slowing down the team, the hurricane gave them even more weird energy. They joked that even Mother Nature wanted a cameo in the movie. The delay ended up helping in a strange way too, because when they came back, the cast had bonded more, and their scenes got funnier. But nothing compared to what they did to the golf course at the end of the movie. Remember that big explosion scene at the end? The one where the ground blows up and smoke covers the fairway? That was real. The crew actually used dynamite to blow up part of the golf course. The problem was, the country club never approved it. The production team secretly planned the explosion for a day when the owners would be off-site. They even sent them on a little boat ride so they wouldn't notice. When the blast went off, it was way bigger than expected. The fireball shot into the air, the grass burned, and nearby houses saw smoke for miles. When the owners came back, they were furious. The crew pretended it was all under control, but the damage was massive. Still, it looked so good on camera that everyone agreed it was worth it. But that wasn't the only scene that went completely off the script.
Hey, everybody, we're all gonna get laid.
At the end of Caddyshack, Rodney Dangerfield yells, "Hey everybody, we're all gonna get laid." It's one of the strangest and funniest endings ever. And guess what? It wasn't planned at all. Rodney just shouted it as a joke after one of the takes. The director almost cut it because it made no sense, but he realized it fit the spirit of the movie perfectly. That random line became one of the most quoted moments from the movie. People still yell it at golf tournaments and parties. It summed up the whole vibe of Caddyshack, completely unpredictable and hilarious. And just like that line, one actor's small cameo ended up stealing the whole show.
So I jumped ship in Hong Kong. And I make my way over to Tibet. And I get on as a looper at a course over there in Himalayas.
When Bill Murray joined the film, he was in the middle of his Saturday Night Live schedule. He had just a few days off, and his character Carl was supposed to appear for a quick gag and then leave. But once filming started, everyone realized how funny he was. The director kept giving him more scenes, letting him improvise as much as he wanted. In just 6 days, he shot all his parts, including that famous showdown with the gopher. The funny thing is, Bill Murray never even filmed with Chevy Chase until one last-minute scene was added. The two had a weird history from their SNL days, so the crew brought them together for one short sequence that turned into gold. It's crazy to think the movie's most memorable moments almost never happened. And the surprises didn't stop there. One scene took an unexpected turn on camera.
Ow!
It's all right.
That hurt.
You're blocking.
In that scene where Chevy Chase is giving Cindy Morgan a massage and playing the piano, nothing went as written. Chevy suddenly grabbed the oil bottle and splashed it on her without warning. Her shocked reaction, yelling, "You're crazy," was completely real. The director loved it so much that he left it in the movie. That single take made their chemistry feel natural and hilarious. It's those unscripted moments that make Caddyshack feel alive. But not all of the chaos came from comedy. Some of it came from what was happening after the cameras stopped rolling. Almost everyone who worked on Caddyshack has admitted that the set was one huge party. People stayed up all night, music blasted from trailers, and there was constant drinking. Some crew members said the cast would roll into early morning shoots without sleeping at all. There were stories about golf carts racing around after hours and lines being rewritten at the last minute because people forgot them. The wild energy you see on screen was exactly what was happening behind the scenes. It was messy, loud, and completely unforgettable. That might sound like a nightmare for most productions, but somehow it gave the movie its wild, carefree vibe. You can feel it in every joke and every weird moment. And years later, that energy inspired something completely unexpected. After the movie became a cult favorite, Bill Murray and his brothers decided to bring the spirit of the film back to life. They opened a restaurant called Murray Brothers, Caddyshack in Florida. The place is packed with movie props, photos, gopher statues, and golf-themed food. It's like walking right into the movie. Fans travel from all over just to eat there and take pictures. They even play Caddyshack scenes on the screens while people dine. For Bill Murray, it wasn't just a restaurant, it was a tribute to his family and the film that changed his life. The Murray brothers later opened a second location in Chicago too, and both are still huge hits with fans. But back when the movie first came out, nobody thought it would become this legendary.
Well, it's a kind of a funny coincidence that it's the day that the restaurant opens. It's the day that our music tour sort of hits the Midwest. We landed at O'Hare way too early this morning.
When Caddyshack hit theaters in 1980, critics didn't know what to make of it. The story felt random, the jokes seemed all over the place, and the reviews were mixed. Some people said it was too silly. Others thought it was pure chaos. But slowly, word of mouth spread. College students started quoting it, golfers loved it, and fans watched it over and over. The lines became part of pop culture, and the characters became icons. What started as a messy movie about golf turned into one of the funniest and most beloved comedies ever made. Decades later, it's still being quoted, parodied, and celebrated. It proves that even when everything goes wrong, you can still create something unforgettable. And that's exactly what Caddyshack did. It turned chaos into comedy gold. If you liked this video and it brought back memories, you will like this video as well.